Whew. Hi, man. Here we are again for another Raiders. You around? Oh, there you are. So, hey, man, what do we got up for this episode of Raiders?
There's a dinosaur in the backyard.
Sure. Are we gonna watch a movie?
No, you don't understand. That hellmouth that we opened up in the backyard, fucking dinosaur crawled out of that thing.
But the movie.
If we don't get that thing, it could get loose in Glendale. And that'd be it. We have to stop it. It's just you and me. Are you ready, Dave? Take this. No? All right, Dave. Remember the Alamo. Goodbye, Dave. Ha-ha!
All right, you dinosaur mother, you're going down. Take this. No, ha-ha. No, and take this. Ha-ha.
Since the earliest days of movie making, the genre of the Lost World and its prehistoric denizens is one that always seems to die out, only to be rediscovered once again. From B-movies and cult films to modern blockbusters, we are the Raiders of the Lost genre.
Dave.
Yeah.
Today is the day, Dave.
Yeah.
Today is when we watch yet another Jim Wynorski Jiggle Fest. Today we are watching The Lost Empire from 1984 with huge tracts of land.
Huge talent, right? Jim Wynorski is known for two things.
The left one and the right one.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah.
I'm sort of interested in this because it does not have a... From what you're telling me anyway, there's no dinosaurs, there's no...
No, it's called The Lost Empire because it has a Lost Empire. I believe it also has ninjas, it has the tall man from the Phantasm, and it has bubblegum.
Is there ass kicking? Because then Roddy might show up.
Right. Yeah, presumably. So, you ready for this shit?
I guess. I also think
emphasis on shit?
maybe the dinosaur from this movie escaped into your backyard.
It could be a thing. We'll find out.
I don't know.
In The Lost Empire. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, let's do this.
Wyatt, I am rolling.
Polyscope when you need more than one.
Boobs.
James Boob.
Back in the heyday of the VHS rental stores like Blockbuster, it was a traditional and accepted form of money-making to have some amazing art used as the poster of a movie to sell the heck out of a real piece of shit.
So it's an ugly pig man with a snake coming out of his mouth and a glowing eye jewel.
One would walk in and either head towards the new release wall or make a beeline for their favorite genre.
Okay, ninjas.
Ninjas hardly ever dress up like sex perverts, though. I mean, unless they're having sex in a perverted manner.
Horny young teenagers would therefore easily be suckered by an action or fantasy film with gorgeous, Barnum-esque box art depicting explosions, ancient cities, and a great pair of boobs.
Woohoo!
Ninja star to the back of the head.
I was no exception. Jim Wynorski writes and makes his directorial debut with this sloppy homage to a lot of better films.
We're here to see Wong.
We're gonna stop you. No, you're Wong.
Three cops rush to the aid of a jewelry store in Chinatown being robbed by ninjas. That's how this movie starts. I'm not making this up.
Shot him right in the squib.
The ninjas are all killed, but so are the cops, and Detective Angel Wolf's brother was among them.
Let's fast forward to some tits.
Though he lives long enough to deliver a clue. The strange throwing star one of his assailants used to deflect bullets.
You have the right to remain dead sexy.
If you're gonna come to school, punk, you better learn how to count.
Miss Wolf, do you have any idea what the penalty is for hitting an FBI agent in the nose?
Angel vows revenge and teams with pornstash FBI agent and sometimes lover Rick to find and destroy the culprits.
This is off limits. Who are you?
I'm a policewoman. This is my brother.
Who's working on this, man? Dr. Teeth? All right.
Golden teeth and golden tones.
What does this have to do with my brother?
Legend has it that Lee Chuck sold his soul to the devil for immortality. They called him Satan's hatchet man, obligated to send his master a soul at least once every 24 hours.
He tells her of the legendary Lee Chuck, who gave his soul away to attain immortality and cool throwing stars. His ninjas were after a ruby stone with phenomenal cosmic powers, twin to one Chuck may already in fact have.
You.
Well, if it isn't Miss Lady Cop Hero. Thanks to your meddling, I'm taking all the heat from the top brass. Hand it, Prager.
Really?
Good evening. Oh, and watch yourself in there.
Oh, I'm watching you now.
The Ruby, having a mind of its own, prefers cops with large breasts and hitches a ride in Angel's handbag. No joke, it just floats right in there.
Yeah, we put up no caution tape, we secured no scene, and there might be a Charlie Chang.
Good evening.
Chang. Because we're avoiding any copyright problems.
Not a ripoff.
Meanwhile, mysterious Inspector Chang lays down the ancient Chinese secret that Dr. Sin Do leads a religious cult that is in cahoots with Lee Chuck and has a private island where he builds his empire among a lost citadel. Everybody get all that?
His tie's not straight. Her boyfriend's not straight.
Angel forces Rick at nipple point to give her his files on Dr. Sin.
Now give!
All right. We think he's building an army of trained assassins. Terrorists, brainwashed to respond to his every whim.
Listen, the first thing they teach you at the police academy when you're a beat cop in LA is ancient Chinese mythology that somehow interweaves with Native American and bad photos.
Armed with the knowledge that Dr. Sin recruits women for his terrorist organization in trios, Angel acts.
Yeah, most ancient Chinese Satan cults put an ad in the paper and then they put out a card table with a sign-up sheet.
Is that before or after the lemonade sale?
The lemonade comes later because you need funds to buy all those sick uniforms.
No.
And the bake sale for the flags. And she rode her Jeep for 7 hours, none of which was cut from the movie.
Well, they were hoping to get an endorsement from Jeep.
She asks Native American cleavage boxing champ White Star to help.
This seagull feather.
This prop newspaper, which is still in perfect condition.
White Star. Well, who'd you expect? Tonto?
You thinking what I'm thinking? No question.
Yeah, I need some cantaloupes at home.
We should go cornhole in the restroom.
Down to my place and,
Please. I just ate. Now the keys.
They then cut a deal with Heather, a convict Angel put away years before, to be their third.
Hey, prom queen. Come on over here. Let's get physical.
Because she swings a mean right hook, and she cleans up well in prison shower scenes.
Plenty good warrior. Tell that to my bruises.
All right, what do we got so far? We got a ninja movie, We got a cowboy movie. We got Cowboys and Indians movie. We've got a women's in prison flick.
I agree with all of it except for the word movie.
How'd you like to recover on the outside? I parole in a year.
It was, can she kick ass? Will she be part of this group? She looks good with her clothes off.
The trio is flown to Dr. Sin's Golgotha Island.
Are you ready to fly the friendly skies? What did you feed the goldfish?
Hey Dave, if she wasn't taking a plane to that island, do you think she'd be riding a camel?
I think she has too much baggage.
But Angel forgets her handbag, so Rick decides to don a scuba suit and swim out to help her. Maybe he used a boat too, who knows? We're never shown.
Alright, welcome to Jug's Airline.
While Rick gets caught by yet another not-woman ninja on an island full of fighting brickhouse women, Angel and the girls are getting courted, trained, and tested Enter the Dragon style by Dr. Sin.
This movie's so cheeky.
I want to know what they pulled out of her ear.
It looked like an entire microchip from 1975.
Yeah!
I came here for the game.
Sleepy cop.
This is what happens to porn stars after the pizza scene where he like delivers it, they all have sex, and then he just falls asleep on your couch.
Yeah.
Angel, I know now. I'm on my way.
Camera crew leaves and you're left there with just bottle after bottle of empty booze and your bowling trophy for second place.
Girl, shave.
The weirdness of the skin.
Trim that tarantula.
Room service, there was a robot spider full of acid in my bed.
I hate robot spiders. Bravo.
I mean, the island set looks good. I'll give it that.
Like, the flag budget was through the roof.
Security breach in Sector C. Put the new man on it. The one with raven hair.
Sin is more than he seems, though.
You startled me.
I am Dr. Sin.
I am.
Pushing 50. How many plush rabbits had to die for that bikini?
Like a whole family. That's a velveteen holocaust.
Under the Angus Scrim mask and bad hair, he's some sort of ancient undead creature who has his way with a mesmerized White Star.
You're not having any?
I'm afraid my diet is special. Behold the face of the Gorgon!
She's just like, oh, really? Those are pretty wrinkly balls.
Or maybe his snake does. Who cares? Boobs.
But sure, if you want me to have weird, funky time with your snake with my top off, I guess I can do that. You're under arrest.
Master, I caught Benny Hill in a scuba suit.
Better do it while she still looks like a woman!
So he goes from beat cop to detective to Satanist.
I just want my pleasure.
See, now he's like a mall security guard. He's got so many hats.
What about King Kong? White Star's got dibs on the ape.
Coco's having none of this.
Just here to check on how things are going with your room and to have you fill out this short survey.
He has inadvertently brought with him the ultimate treasure. The eyes of Avatar.
Boobs.
Bring on the intruder.
What do you mean? They didn't need a second take. It's perfect.
Angel is forced to fight Rick, but they instead start a riot of babes versus ninjas.
It's Rick. Come on, let's fake him out.
All right, buddy, nose and all, have it your way.
Koro, kill them.
Message for you, sir.
Dr. Sin, aka Lee Chuck, gasp, has the second ruby at last thanks to Rick.
Nighty-night, fellas.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look, we've ripped off House of Wax.
Sin not only uses the rubies to power his stronghold's ultimate arsenal of twig and berry cannons,
The laser cannon will be unmatched in history.
but he also reveals his need of the life force of buxom heroines like Angel to continue his immortality.
Observe.
Not phallic at all.
It's always nice to see someone super old actually get into technology.
Angel fights him, gets tied up by magic electricity, and is about to be sacrificed when Rick finally does something useful and beheads Sin.
Nowhere to.
You couldn't just do that yourself? Just take your arms off of there?
It takes the touch of a porn stash to take away true black magic.
Sin is reclaimed by hell.
Thank you. You've been a great crowd, and I'll catch you next time.
That is why I don't do 2 shows a night anymore. I just don't.
And the island explodes. The girls and Rick escape aboard a private jet. Most everyone else dies, but who cares?
Ah, my balls!
Director Wynorski had made a name for himself writing exploitation flicks for Roger Corman and was given the chance to direct by a theater owner who wanted to produce a fast, cheap sci-fi film in any way possible. Wynorski threw everything he could rip off into the story and then his heart into the directing, not knowing the film was supposed to be a tax loss for the producers. Instead, they released it theatrically and then to video and turned a profit.
You sure you can fly this thing?
Krakatoa, east of stupid.
From nods to Indiana Jones, Charlie's Angels, James Bond, Fu Manchu, and Charlie Chan, to Russ Meyer exploitation, ninja exploitation, women in prison exploitation, and even Bruce exploitation, Wynorski chucked it all in front of the camera and out-tumbled Lost Empire.
I shall return.
Is that a fact?
Raven Delacroix had starred in Meyer's Up in 1976 and took time off from stripping to produce this and play White Star. She's half Comanche, so I guess it's a pass. Phantasm's Angus Scrim plays Dr. Sin in what is mostly a voiceover role. Wynorski has gone on to direct over 150 films, including cult classics like Chopping Mall, Piranaconda, Dinosaur Island, and Deathstalker 2, which just goes to show, never lose sight of your dreams.
So, Dave, that was the Lost Empire.
Yeah, what the hell was that? The Lost Empire was called?
Yeah, I didn't bring the cover up. I think it's called Lost Empire.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I'm getting out of this. Here's what. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a
There's
minute.
not
All right,
much to break apart.
no,
though.
kind of, but the kind of is. It's just so bad.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you take homages to 1930s and 40s? Fuck it. What happens when you take Fu Manchu,
Right.
Charlie Chan,
Right.
James Bond,
And like,
No, we're not done here.
No, there's so many more. Like it's a never-ending list. It was Native American culture. It was ancient, like Chinese mysticism. It's Satan worship. It's delicious island locales.
Right, like I said, House of Wax or
Yeah.
Mystery of the Wax Museum.
Yeah.
Um,
And then like
Enter the Dragon.
like 0.5% of Gorilla with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, and then mix in a lot of tits and even more cocaine.
Yeah, it was so. I'll give you this: for as little effort and money and time and quality and acting and everything that was in this movie, the continuity was surprisingly on point for what this was. There was never a part like 'cause they didn't do like, let's say, like during the Black Scorpion, the reuse of the same footage over and over again. They sidestepped that pitfall. All of the money that they had for this movie went 2 places.
The left one and the right one.
Well, no, maybe 4 places then. But Angus,
Yeah.
the flag budget was through the roof. And it
Well, they
was-
could afford flags because there was no material used on any of the costumes. At the end of the day, here's the really unfortunate thing about this movie. Jim Wynorski sat down and said, I'm going to have all this shit in my movie. All these opportunities for TNA and gore and action. And it's still going to suck.
Well,
like there's not enough sex.
No.
There's not enough nudity.
no. There's not enough like violence. There's not enough story. There are not enough.
Yeah, there's no blood budget whatsoever. They couldn't even afford anything red to be squirting out of the zombie when he gets killed at the end.
Yeah, it's all clear. Like it was like the cheapest way possible, and that's why it.
What can we afford? Water. We've got some water.
And you know that was the beauty of this and all Wynorski films, is they are that beautiful blend of completely pointless mixed with the slightest air of sincerity. So like with the Black Scorpion or any of the other movies we used to watch, right? My problem is the execution in the seriousness of it. Because, you know, you can vacillate from being like, oh, hey, we're all crazy, to like, oh my god, a giant scorpion, and there's actual horror.
Yeah.
This didn't even bother with that. There's no tension, there's no...
Yeah, which really sucks because you have this flick where it's like, oh, I'm gonna make it into a comedy, and the comedy doesn't work, but because you made it into a comedy, you didn't have any gore, you didn't have any seriousness. Yeah. You have kick-ass, I will say this, you do have strong female characters, even if they're just sex pots, even if they're just there to look at. At the end of the day, the heroes are chicks, the action is done by chicks, and even when they're being victimized, they don't stay victims for very long.
No.
And it doesn't matter because it's so busy trying to be a comedy that we're not going to show you the victimization anyway.
Right. Like, the casting was a bizarre choice that you could have exploited really well.
Oh, I think it was exploited.
Oh, well, I'm talking about like the actual like Angus and the bald dude with the eyebrows that came and went.
Yeah.
There were some character actors in here that could have pulled something together.
Yeah.
But
yeah, when you made the Ed Wood comment, I think you're spot on. It's like there's no second takes on this movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we got these. No, that was great. Keep going. Again, the production value does have these moments where it's like, oh, it's a decent matte painting and it's good sets and it's, you know, it's like, I mean, I shouldn't say good sets. They're involved sets.
Right.
Let's put it that way. It's yeah.
That matte painting of the, you know,
the Lost Empire.
Yeah, the Larry Niven style paperback art. It was, I mean, obviously not anything other than a very jarring matte painting. But the fact that it was something that somebody somewhere, another human, put some time into.
Yeah.
The concept of, is this a comedy or is everything handled so ham-fisted that it just is accidentally hilarious?
No, I mean, it's accidentally hilarious, but it wasn't obviously intended to be comedic.
Yeah.
It works for Dinosaur Island.
Because Dinosaur Island, I believe, here's where the problem is. For Dinosaur Island, I think Jim was just like, you know what, it's going to be a zany, madcap adventure.
Right.
But for this, somebody along the line accidentally took part of it seriously.
Yeah.
So they got the tall man. They got decent-ish actors.
Right.
They have
a decent
sets.
matte painting. They have sets.
But they still acted as if they were filming dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, it really doesn't matter because all that this movie needed is what it got. It got a cast full of hot chicks with cleavage to spare, and then it got poster art that says, "This is something I'm renting on Saturday night from Blockbuster. I'm fucking seeing this movie." So it doesn't matter if it's good. It just it's that guy again in Ed Wood. It's that guy, you know, that producer who actually hires Ed Wood. It's like, as long as it's 6 reels, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's the problem with this movie now too. It is the proverbial frog in the boiling pot.
Right. So, sheep.
Yeah. So maybe
how many sheep
do
you give Lost Empire?
I'd like to introduce a different type of scale.
Oh.
Because
for this movie or just in general?
Just in general. It'll still with the sheep.
Oh,
but what'll happen is instead of 1 being here and 10 being here, it's a circle. 1 and 10 are very close because a 1 movie is just as enjoyable as a 10 movie to me. Whereas you have 1 and 10 up here and 5 is down here, which sucks.
All right.
This is a 2. It was so bad that it's the other side, and it's fine. I'll watch a 2, I'll watch a 1, I'll watch a 3, I'll watch a 10, all the way to a 7. But since it doesn't matter, you have the opposite side of that coin too, where you just check out glazed eyes. When a nipple shows up on screen, you go, oh.
Ah!
Yeah, your eyes focus for the 30 seconds that it's there, and then you go, oh. That's why it's a
2.
It's a double header. We got 2 sheep on this one.
I'm giving it 2 sheep as well. I think the girl who played White Star was a producer, and you can tell because she kind of pulls her own Drew Barrymore, where she's like, "Oh, I only need to be like center of the action for like the scenes where I'm being brutalized."
So okay, wait, White Star was the Native
Indian
American.
chick.
Yeah, okay.
She knows when it's time to focus on her boobs.
I think that was more of an ego play.
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, oh, now it's my time to shine.
Right, but not ego in that, like, look how young and hot I am. An ego play on the other side of that coin, where she is now a little long in the tooth, and she's like, no, you better fucking believe I am still good enough for a nude scene. But yeah, I still got it. And the way to prove it is to have 45 uninterrupted seconds of her nude, but also she gets to put her acting talent out there. Not only am I hot as shit, not only my cans big as hell, but I'm an awesome actor. Nailed it. She's like, Jim, lock the gate on that shit. But yeah, 2 sheep through and through.
2
There's
sheep.
No more, no less.
Yep. Don't stare at him. Shoot.
Shoot! Hey man, I think I'm just about ready to take off. Maybe there was a dinosaur.